Bay.
The Bible says, be not deceived. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
All right, it's 4 p.m. on Wall Street. Do you know where your money is?
How much should I invest?
I'm really looking for some direction.
Should I hold on to my house as an investment for my future?
What should we do to have money that we're putting aside?
Welcome to Financial Issues, where we align reality with truth. Conservative talk radio you can count on. Financial issues that you need to know.
We face a disintegrating economy, a weakened defense, and an energy policy based on the sharing of scarcity. We will simply apply to government the common sense that we all use in our daily lives.
Now, here's your host, Dan Celia.
Good morning. Welcome back to Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. It's great to be here. We're on the road today, so we're not anticipating any technical issues, but want to let you know that we are on the road. We're not sure what the delay is going to be like, so I may not be able to respond to you on your calls. Not respond. I will be. We want your calls. 866-300-9298. Cue your call up because we want to do what we've been doing for the last few days. And I'm doing this. And here's the nice thing. I've noticed that it's actually working, that my email volume has decreased a little bit. And I've gotten a number of emails that, according to someone has told me that the questions, taking so many questions has been very helpful. So we're going to continue that pace, especially heading into the end of the year. So we want to hear from you. If you've got a financial question, if you had something about the economy you want to talk about, after we're done this segment, right after the next break, we will get to the phones. 866-300-9298. 866-300-9298. You can call in and queue up your calls. First, I want to talk a little bit about what is coming up this week, what we can expect in the economy from an economic standpoint, economic numbers. Today, we have at 10 o'clock, we have construction spending numbers come out, so that'll be interesting. On Tuesday, we have auto sales numbers coming out. On Wednesday, we have the mortgage index, so we'll kind of get a look at what the mortgage index is going to be, how many people are taking mortgages. I believe this is going to include just mortgage purchases for new homes. Also on Wednesday, trade balance numbers. You've heard me say it before, it's a number that I like. So we're going to get a look at that trade balance numbers. New home sales come out on Wednesday as well. That should be interesting. On Thursday, of course, we have our usual initial jobs claims, those making first-time claims on unemployment. Another thing on Wednesday that we're getting, we don't usually pay much attention to it, but I feel that you are so much more educated about this now because I've written about it several times. I've talked about it several times, and that is the GDP deflation number. And the deflation number is basically the number in which the Commerce Department uses to put on GDP, and that is how they determine what GDP growth is. Now, you've heard me talk about this several times. For years, they didn't use the deflation number. They used CPI, but that has changed. So I'll talk a little bit about that on Thursday. We also get factory orders. Factory orders come out on Thursday. But having said all that, all those things coming out between now and Thursday, the big number is Friday. Friday, it seems like we just did this. Friday, the job numbers come out for the month of November. That means we're going to find out what the unemployment number is. We're going to find out what the hours worked per week were for the month of November. So we'll get a look again at the labor participation rate. Has it changed? Has it gone down? Has it gone up? What has happened with non-farm payrolls? So that is coming out on Friday. And frankly, we had an extremely, as is typical, a low volume week last week. I would expect, I'm not expecting a low volume like we did last week, but we're going to have a pretty stagnant volume until Friday. And Friday morning at 8:30, after these job numbers come out, that means an hour before the markets open. And Friday, we should see some volume based on these numbers. I'm very curious to see that. Another important number is our first look at December's consumer sentiment Remember, this is December, Christmas shopping. This is going to be an important number. This is the Michigan sentiment number. It's the first look. It's not going to be, the number for the month of December, but it's going to give us a first look. And by all accounts, it is expected to go up. Also, two things that I like coming out Friday. Personal spending. Personal spending is huge. It is not expected to go up. It's expected to be pretty much the same as it was in September. This is going to be the October consumer spending number. That is coming out. And then we get personal income for October. So Friday is a big economic number, and we're going to take a look at that very closely as we head into the week. So we'll watch that. We'll talk a little bit about it. I'll let you know about some of the other numbers coming out as far as what the economists are saying, the other economists, the other analysts, what they're saying. They're usually wrong, but I'll let you know what they're saying, and they've been wrong most of the time in general. They tend to take an optimistic view based on the markets. Well, the markets have not been and aren't likely to be an indication of the economy. Make no mistake about it. So, nevertheless, they're still so, and remember, they believe that their enthusiasm and positive spin on everything is going to drive the market. They want to talk their book up, particularly this time of year. They want to talk stocks up. They want people to jump into the market. And as a matter of fact, there are people, and this is why you need to call and ask me these questions right now, 866-300-9298, because there are far too many people talking about it's time. I've waited long enough. I'm not earning anything. Is this the time to get in the market? Give me a call before you make that move. 866-300-9298. 866-300-9298. Folks, I also want to talk about, because I don't want to let this go, it is Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is when you go on the websites, you get to do a lot of shopping. It is a huge number. My son-in-law, I have a son-in-law that works for a big sports retailer. On Black Friday, and it's big from a world standpoint because they ship all over the world. They only do soccer, rugby, and lacrosse. And they supply all the big national soccer teams around the world and rugby teams with their uniforms and all those kinds of things. They have big, huge days. They have a warehouse in North Carolina. They did close to $2 million. Today is expected to be another huge day. It is a big day. Cyber Monday is a huge day. So here's what we're doing this Cyber Monday. And I say we. I'm talking about American Family Association, and we want you to join us. Cyber Monday, we are asking you. Now, we're going to sway a little bit off the whole cyber thing, and we're going to ask you to do something the old-fashioned way because it'll help expedite things. Now, you know that we've been very involved in Operation Christmas Child with Samaritan's Purse, very involved in promoting it and trying to raise awareness to the fact that Samaritan's Purse is bringing the good news of God's love and joy at Christmas time, the good news of the gospel to 130 countries, to children that may be the first time they're ever receiving a gift at Christmas. And we want you to participate with spreading the gospel and bringing the joy and love of Christmas into a child's heart. And we are, AFR wants you to help us build 500 shoeboxes today. One day, we want to build 500 shoeboxes. Now, what that means is, remember last week was the last week for collections? Well, this week, we want you to actually build. Now, my wife, as a matter of fact, today is in the operations center where they pack up all the boxes down in North Carolina. She does it every year for a week. She volunteers to go and pack all the shoe boxes and get all that. And they will, the people there and in other distribution centers around the country will be building shoe boxes, last minute shoe boxes, to people that go online to build the shoe box. Now, here's what it costs. It costs you $30 to build this shoe box to send to a child somewhere in 130 countries that are the poorest of the poor, and to bring the good news of Christmas and the love of Christ to them. So here's what you can do. We would like it if you called 877-616-2396. 877-616-2396. Keep listening. Later, I'll give the number out again. Or you can go to afr.net and use the special link provided there that will help you pack your box. 100% of your gift, this $30, is going directly to packing this shoebox. 100% of it. Not 97%, not 92%, not 85%, 100%, all of it. That's what it's going towards. We just want you to participate. We want to do 500 boxes. Now, I would like 300 of those boxes to come from Financial Issues listeners. So that means you got 2 hours to call in, and I sure would appreciate it, because I know our listeners here at Financial Issues understand the power of money in the hands of God and in the hands of God's children. So we want you to take your $30 and call 877-616-2396. Now, you can go to afr.net and click on the special link there to pack your shoebox. But if you could call, it would be it would expedite the process for us and help us. So we sure would appreciate you do that, because I know a lot of people didn't have time to pack a box this year. But all around the world, there are children who are victims of disease, poverty, and disaster, who need love, who need hope, that you know, that I know, that only comes through Jesus Christ, the greatest gift of all. And we want you to participate with us in packing those boxes. So we hope you'll do that. Call 877-616-2396. 877-616-2396. It's going to be the best $30, the greatest $30 that you have spent this Christmas. I guarantee it. So we really hope that you'll join us, and I'll talk more about it later, so we'll give those numbers out. So I hope you'll join in that. 866-300-9298 if you want to join the program. Cue your call up. We are going to get to the phones. We're going to get to as many phone calls as we possibly can. Looks like our stock market, most of the indices are pretty much flat right now based on some economic data. But the UK manufacturing data came out. It is the strongest it's been since February of 2011. But the rest of the European data is down. As a matter of fact, it's down dramatically along with Chinese stock market. So that is down, but the UK is doing good. I wonder if this is going to lead eventually to the UK seriously consider about pulling out of the euro in general, but the UK seems to be doing pretty well with some strong markets. Why is that important? Because I think it's important that we have a handle on whether the European markets are really doing as well as we might think they are, or as I even might have thought they were. As I talked about the German numbers, the numbers coming out of Italy, and now we're getting some better numbers out of Spain. But are they really accurate? When we look at the Eurozone in general, we're seeing some poor numbers with the exception of the UK right now. So stocks in here are flat at best. Gold has dropped over 1% right now. Gold has dropped over 1%, so that's a pretty big drop on gold. And if I look at the commodity futures, folks, right now, here's some of the good news. The good news is, yes, gold is down 1360 at 1236, but the good news is oil, 93.10. Maybe today we'll see it go below 93, but 93.10. So we're hanging around this 93 mark now for about 5 business days. That's some pretty good news. Financial Issues, 866-300-9298. We'll be right back.